Good morning, I'm Simon White. I'm the Director of Active Cycling Projects and App Bike. I'm here today to give you a short video demonstration of the App Bike system and a few bits of information about it so that hopefully you'll have a bit more of an appreciation for it. So a little bit of history for you. About 18 months ago we decided that we wanted to produce an automated locking system to help us with some of the projects that we do with local authorities and businesses. Key for us at that time was that the system that we were wanting had to have a lot of flexibility and adaptability into it. We weren't necessarily going to be putting it onto one particular bike, but we have fleets of bikes which are differing in type, shape and size, and so we wanted something that was going to work in those scenarios. And as time's gone on, an interest in bike sharing has increased, so has the need for a system to be flexible, adaptable and scalable for each differing scenario where you might want to install a bike sharing system or a pooled bike system. And ours does that. The essence of how it operates is there are essentially a few bits of kit that can be applied to each bike. At the heart of the system is one of these. This is a electronic lock. It fits to pretty much any bike that's on the market at the moment. The unit is battery powered and operated by using our App Bike app on your smartphone. Smartphone is the only way at this time to make this system work. So people who don't have a smartphone won't be able to use the system, but increasingly, as you're probably aware, more than 85% of the population already have one. You can see behind me a bike that is fitted with one of our locks, and I'll demonstrate that to you in a moment. And the other bits of kit that you would need to have an App Bike system is some of these boxes. Now, inside this box is what we call a beacon, and you need one of these boxes at every location where you would like a rental to start or finish. So if it's a university, for instance, you may have a bank of 10 bikes. You would need one of these boxes at that bank of 10 bikes to communicate with the lock and the app at the point of return for the user. So the box also has the added advantage in that people can only return the bikes to the locations that we specify in the system. So you might even have 10 different beacons dotted around a town or a campus or something like that. But within that, we can specify within the configuration of the system exactly what bikes can be returned to which hubs. So you can have, if this is box A, you can have it so that all bikes that come from box A can only be returned to box A, even though you may have box C and D as well. Okay. Just returning to the lock here. Another nice feature of this lock is that it also has the ability to accept a chain or a cable. I have a couple of examples here. So here's a very heavy duty one, which is really secure. That will plug in to the lock here in here like so, to allow the bike to be secured to something. This lock is really just is an immobiliser lock. There isn't anything that would stop then someone being able to pick the bike up and move it to a different location. So you have a plug-in cable, which is a very heavy duty one here, and also we have an example of a lighter weight one, which is much more user friendly, can be wrapped around the seat post or parts of the bike and be carried on the bike whilst riding. Again, there are a variety of these cables which are on the market which can be plugged into this lock to secure the bike to something. Whilst the user is using the app and has unlocked a bike, the bike stays on rent to that individual user until they tell the app that they have finished with the rent. So that means that if you pick the bike up from a certain location and you are going around the town to a meeting well off site or to somewhere where it's away from the main hub points, then you have the facility to be able to open and close this lock at will. That means so that if you're stopping off on a journey somewhere, that the bike can be secured and still remain rented to you with still be rented with you, to you for as long as you want it. A lot of other systems, as soon as you close the lock, the rental is ended, and for instance, you might stop at a shop to go and pick up some supplies, only to find that when you come out, your bike is no longer there because someone else has started a rent on it. This can't happen with this lock. Okay. So a quick demonstration